Hello children, how are you? This is Mrs. Kikani. I'm back again. Welcome to Living Room Library. Yes, this is my living room and we do story time here. So it's library, living room, library. I hope you have been watching other stories and enjoying. Today I got a story about winter and snow. Have you seen snow? Some of you have seen snow because you live in a place where it snows during winter, in the cold winter morning and night and winter months. You get white, flaky, soft snow and it covers the ground. Some of you who lives in warmer place may not seen snow, or you might have traveled and seen snow. If you have seen it, good. If you haven't seen it, just imagine. That's what books are good for. Sometimes you cannot travel and go everywhere, but the books help you, the stories help you imagine that you're already there. It helps you experience the things which you could not experience without going there. But with books, you can pretend, you can imagine. Okay? So this book, the name of the story is The Mitten. When it's cold, winter, snow time, you need hat, scarf, and mittens, and jacket, and coats, and boots. So this story is about mitten. So find a place, a comfortable place to sit down, crisscross your legs, hands in your lap. Ready? And I must get ready with my glasses. Remember, sometimes I don't get to see so well, so I need the help of my glasses. I'm ready, you're ready, let's start. The Mitten. White snow, winter time. Once there was a boy named Nicky. This is Nicky, who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. Snow is white. He wanted his mitten just like snow, white. See, it's winter time, snow everywhere. He wants to go outside. He got his boots, his scarf, his hat, his winter clothes. He needs mittens. At first, his grandmother, Baba, didn't want to knit white mittens. This is his grandmother. This is Nicky. That's his grandmother. You know, everybody's grandmother loves their grandchildren. Sometimes you call them Nana, or you call Granny, or you call Dadi, or you call Aji. Different names. Nicky calls his grandma Baba. So at first, his grandmother, Baba, didn't want to knit white mittens. If you drop one in the snow, she warned, you will never find it. If you have white mitten and you drop it in the snow, you can never find it because it will blend in. You lose it. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens, and finally Baba made them. She agreed and she made. See, Baba is knitting. Some grandmas, they like to knit. After she finished, she said, when you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound, and then I will look to see if you still have your snow white mittens. So off Nicky went, and it wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. See, one of his mittens. A mole, you know mole is a small animal. A mole tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size. So he decided to stay. See, that's the mole. He saw the mitten, so he went inside the mitten. It was nice and warm and cozy, so he decided to live there. A snowshoe rabbit, there are lots of different kind of rabbit. This one is snowshoe rabbit, came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten, and he wiggled in feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. See, the mole is there in the mitten, and now rabbit is there. So both of them are sharing. It's very squeezed place, but they're sharing the mitten to stay warm. Next, a hedgehog came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. Everybody's cold, so they're finding place to keep themselves warm. So the rabbit was there, now the mole was there, the rabbit was there, and now hedgehog came. So he's also finding himself nice and warm place. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. So all three of them are squashed inside that mitten. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down. When he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. But when they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly let him in. They were scared of him, so they got in. Up through the snow appeared a badger. The badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog and the owl were not pleased. They were not happy. They didn't want a badger in there. There was no room left. But when they saw his daggers, they gave him the thumb. They were scared of him. So they said, okay, come on in. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotting by stopped to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. The fox poked his muzzle in. When the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. They said, okay, you two come on in. Everybody's climbing on each other. But they were afraid of fox. So the fox also got some room in there. Imagine how they are snugged together. A great bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as could be. But what animal would argue with a bear? None of them wanted to argue with bear. The mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and bulged to many times its size. But Baba's good knitting held fast, so it didn't break. The mitten is still there. Along came a meadow mouse, a little mouse, no bigger than an acorn. She wriggled into the one space left. and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. See, mouse, great bear's nose. Everybody's inside that mitten. The bear, tickled by Mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Achoo! Ah! The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. The mitten was shot up. On his way home, Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. It was the lost mitten, silhouette against the blue sky. As he ran to catch the snow white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First, she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his new mittens. See, he has one here and the other one which he had lost, where all the animals were hiding. He found it. And so Baba was so happy that he didn't lose his mitten. The end. See, all the animals in winter, they were cold. They wanted to snuggle and they found a place. Though they were afraid of each other, but they wanted to be warm. So they helped each other, snuggled together. They shared their space. It was cramped, it was tight. They didn't have room, but they were quiet. They worked together, and that's what friends do sometimes. Sometimes you're squashed. Sometimes you have to share your stuff. You don't want to share, but it's good to share. And that's what these animals did. They shared the warmth. Till I come back again, make sure you are sharing your stuff with your friends and family, and share the stories too. Share this YouTube video with your friends. I'll be back again. Till then, take care of yourself and remember, I love you.